my Discord for some reason.
Oh, RIP. Okay.
Oh, it's because it's Microsoft Edge. 1 second, let me switch.
Do you have any sense of your own problems, or?
I think I have really bad positioning sometimes.
Okay, and what does that mean? Does that mean you play too far back, too far forward?
I think I play too far forward sometimes.
Okay. Because you want to get kills, or because... what? Because you just don't know where to stand? It's okay if you don't know the answer. It's just...
I think sometimes I tunnel vision, yeah.
Okay.
God, I don't know why it's not letting me get on here.
I can use I can put your link into a different thing that just lets me sync up the video. It's a little bit less helpful. If it's too much of a hassle, I'm not going to waste too much of your time with this. This should just be a direct link to syncing up your video.
Yeah, it keeps making me telling me to log in.
It's okay. Here, use this link instead. I can't draw on the screen or anything. But...
Okay. Oh, email has already been taken. 1 second. Let me try logging in.
Okay. If it's too much of a hassle, you can just use the second link I gave you.
No, 1 second. Alright, there we go. I got it. I'm in.
Alright, awesome. Okay. So... we're just going to skip forward. Okie dokie. So... let's talk about your comp, because that's the thing that's not going to change. So, who do you... what's your job in this comp? What do you think?
I want to heal the DPS and pre-armor pack them.
Okay.
And play around. I think that's...
But
and
are you...
also...
are you looking to protect your support or your tanks more? Like, what are you really looking to do in this comp? You gonna be playing back with your Moira or forward?
Yeah, I tend to play with my tanks more, or like in the middle between my tank and support. So I'd assume I'd be protecting my other healer.
I mean,
I need to, or my tanks. I don't know. What's the correct answer?
there's different correct answers against different comps. Like here, your other healer is a Moira, right? So
right.
You don't necessarily need to protect her all that much. Playing with your tanks is generally the better idea, just because of the fact that you're a very close range kind of person. So if you're not really with your tanks ever, then you're not really in the right spot. Yeah. Also, just stunning the ball constantly, making his life impossible.
Yeah.
You're off to the side here, completely split off from your run, or from the rest of your team. It's very easy to kill you if you stand on the other side of this card. I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
If I play, I don't know, even if I play Zen or something, just coming around here, I can instantly start shooting you. All right, and you back up like this, right? Or if I play pretty much any other hero, I just come through here and instantly kill you, or just rush you like this.
Okay. So you just play with my Ryan more.
Yeah, I mean, you generally don't. You generally want to be like behind him, right? If your Ryan's here, then you want to be kind of in this area.
Okay.
Right. You don't necessarily want to be like if your Ryan is here, you don't want to be here.
Got it.
I'll use blue because that's better. Yeah. Like, again, you keep walking to the other side of this cart, just stick with your Reinhardt, right? Like, be, just a little bit behind him or right on top of him. If you go off to the side, it's very easy to dive you. As Brig, you aren't going to survive as much as you used to.
Okay.
Especially against Ball. Like, if the Ball actually wanted to, he could just knock you out away from your team and just kill you.
Got it.
So.
If I had an Ana instead of a Moira, would I want to play further back with my Ana?
Yes, but I think also your Ana would have to play further up with you. Like, you can't just completely forget about your tank line, but you are basically just going to focus on one person on their team. Generally, when you are playing Brig in this meta, it's going to be a Ball, right? Generally, you will never see a Genji and a Tracer if teams are playing, like, meta comps. So Ball is generally what you're going to see. And your job is just to make sure that Ball does not do anything, right? Every time it comes in, you stun him.
Okay.
Anytime he really does anything, Like right here, you're just kind of he's just kind of getting away with whatever he wants.
I didn't stun him quick enough, right?
Yeah. Like, you're kind of annoying them, but again, the Ball is still doing whatever he wants. He's their main tank, so if you just take care of him, they have no space to do anything.
Right.
Oh, you gotta shield that.
Yeah, I did not react to that.
No, Here, wait, we're gonna back up a little bit. Okay. Let's see where this Ball comes in from. Like, you're always turned around for a Tracer, just like swinging around. You're not looking for their Tracer. Their Tracer's gonna come to you. Right? Okay. You're not gonna be chasing after her. This Ball is also gonna come to you. You're looking for this Ball, right? If you can kill it, you're not gonna be able to kill the Tracer because they removed that.
Yeah.
But this Ball has to get stunned. You're not gonna kill the Ball, obviously, but this Ball in about 1:30 got his ult. It's certain balls will get it much faster than that. But if you just let this Ball get away with whatever he wants, then it's just like, you're just going to end up losing at a certain point, right? Like, the moment those mines come out, your life just becomes so much harder that it's honestly just pointless, right? And you also split off here from your team completely. The only reason you really lived here was because your Moira coalescenced you for that first part, right? Like, they put a ton of damage on you. You really can't split off from your team. It's not old Brig, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I should be with my tanks always. Generally.
Yeah, or just closer to your team, really. Like, if you're just looking for their Ball, right? He's coming in from behind you. You're a little bit further back. Okay, you're on Bath now. That's fine, I guess.
Yeah, I was trying to remember why I switched. Oh, because they had a Pharah. Like, maybe I should switch.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. It's just your DPS comp is really bad. Okay. You should have jumped up here, up to the top floor with your, like, boots, whatever they're called.
Okay.
Like, you should just be ready to crouch, and just be ready to crouch jump if you know people are chasing you. Right?
Okay.
And also, you're pretty long range, so don't try to chase your team around. You're just going to have to rely on actually hitting the shots. Okay, so you saw back to...
I saw back to Brig. Yeah, I did.
I would actually stay on BAP is really good right now, so BAP and Brig, you can play either of them, but especially since they have a Pharah, you might not get as much value as you might hope.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think because I knew Genji had Blade, and I was like, I want to bash him away or something.
Yeah, when your range shatters, don't use your flail, because then you might knock somebody away that might have died.
Got it. Yep.
Yeah. So, like, again, you're just kind of playing... I would say that when you're range shatters, it's kind of part of your job to just be with him and get that Inspire up, right? You want that Inspire to be up as much as possible. So, you can't be in your back line just kind of swinging around all the time like this. Like, you're always just swinging, right? But you're never actually hitting anything, really, with it.
Yeah.
So, when your Ryan pushes in, you have to be there with him to push in with him. Since you don't have a Lucio, right? Generally, when you run a Brig, you might run Brig Lucio, right? Like, Brig Moira is fine. Brig really works with most things, Brig Bab. But, Brig Lucio with a Reinhardt has been fairly popular. We're just kind of push into them.
Oh, really? Right now? It is?
I mean, just in general, like in professional play and whatever. It's like, it's with a Reinhardt, it's seen some success. but no one really knows what's going on right now. But it's just particularly important for you to actually have your Inspire up as much as possible.
Yep.
Right?
So it's okay. Be right by my Ryan when he pushes in. Okay.
Yeah, just to play with him, because otherwise there's no real point. Here, let's see. Also, because if their Ryan drops his shield and tries to attack your Ryan, you can just stun him, and he'll die. Yep. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do. That's barrage and whatever. You could also play behind corners more, and just kind of let them come in. Use your third-person view to kind of stun somebody when they come around the corner.
Okay.
So that way,
I'll play more corners.
Instead of playing like here, right? You could play here and just kind of wait around the corner. Okay. I know the fair barrage would kill you anyway, but say the Ryan pushes around the corner here, you just stun him, right? So it just gives your Ryan a setup, right? Again, it's not that easy to pull off, so you'll see some limited success with it. But the important thing is that you're there to engage with your Reinhardt, right? Like, you're not just in your back line. You really only need to protect your supports when they need the protecting, if that makes sense. Like, you don't need to be there for them at all times. You really just need to kind of throw an armor pack at them sometimes. And, if there's a ball coming in or you see the dive getting set up, then you kind of back up preemptively and, you see their ball. And your job is really just to make sure that ball doesn't play the game. So, you just kind of...
Right, or if they have a Doomfist and just... Yeah, going after him or whatever, right?
Yeah, like, let them come to you, though. You can't chase people. If you chase people, you're going to be alone, and this isn't Old Brig, so you're going to die a lot, right? So, it's a lot more team-oriented and, just making sure you know who you're supposed to target.
Got it.
Okay. So they're running Mayfair. You guys are running this... I mean, soldier, I guess. They're running a much more meta comp than you guys are, but that's fine. Yeah. Like, here, you're taking a little bit for your Ryan here. That's good. Your Ryan's going in the wrong direction, though, so that's like, he should be going left.
Is it because it's... Why should he be going left? Is it because it's more open? Or...
So, right now, he's going straight into them. Yeah. And when you're going straight into somebody, that means that there's no corner. They can play this corner, right? This corner, right? Or whatever that is, right? And then they can also play this one right here. I think that's where it is. So they can play these two corners, right? And just kind of back up while you guys are forced into this hallway.
Got it.
So you can't back up without losing all your damage up. Like, your Ryan has to either back up or go forward. Right, yep. He can't duck behind a corner. Their Ryan can. So your Ryan's gonna end up taking a lot more damage than their Ryan is. Look at your Ryan's health bar versus their Ryan's health bar. Like, if you just look at the fight, this versus this, right? Like, you're gonna see that it's just harder, right? You're gonna see that your own shield gets shredded.
Yep.
Right, like, look, right, your Ryan's just backing up. He's taking so much more damage. Actually, their Ryan also dies, but that's because your Zarya that's because your Zarya flanks. That's not because of damage that you guys did from the front here, right? Because
the Zarya was going the right way.
Yeah, also, Zarya is off-angling. So, like, she's going to be going off to the side and creating a crossfire, right? Your soldier did the same thing. If you guys go left, it's just easier for you to avoid damage. Also, they've got a Mei, so going straight into them is just a bad idea, right? See, this is good. Like, you're stunning their Mei, I know you're just cleaning people up, but against a Mei, it's really your job to just stun her, right? Do not let her get a freeze off. Again, it's not your job to get the solo kill. It's just your job to make sure your team does not get hit with the brunt of the CC all at once, right? Like, you can stun a ball so he loses all his momentum and maybe doesn't go on his, like, rolling spree or whatever, right?
Got it.
Yeah, like, just supporting your Ryan by letting him swing even more freely.
So if his shield breaks, should I put my shield up to let him get away and then bash away or somewhere? Or
I mean, realistically speaking, like, you're gonna die too.
Yeah.
So, like, you're not gonna be able to save him, but you're not really trying to bash away. You're trying to bash the people he's trying to attack, right? So they can't get away. Right. So a mate can't freeze him, right? So their Rhine can't shatter him, right?
Got
Takes
it.
just a little bit more damage, right? Like
Yep.
you're punishing people for trying to do things to your Reinhardt.
Makes
Uh,
sense.
yeah, and
Would
again, you're
that would
just
that be the same with Orisa? Should I be if I had an Orisa as my main tank? Would I be playing with her too and
well,
like just
sure.
kind of keep
When
her
your Orisa's
away?
trying to push in, you can
Yeah.
just stun the people who try to attack her, right? It's a lot
Yep.
less active. Like
Yep.
anytime somebody tries to walk into there, you shouldn't really want to be bashing away.
Yep.
And again, you kind of walk out into the open here. You have your see. Oh, this is good. This is good. You're like pushing them actively. You see this? Like
Yeah.
when you have got rally, yeah, that's a good rally, right? You're just kind of going straight at them. Now,
Yep.
that was a little bit dangerous because they had a window, and you
Mhm.
went straight into the open, right? So I would avoid. This was a good rally regardless, but you didn't get punished for this. You kind of just walk straight out into the open like this, right? You are a short range
Yeah.
hero. Walking out into the open as any hero is a bad idea. Um,
Okay.
but with Brig, for example, right? You just walk out into the open. Imagine he can body shot you to death. I think. Actually, no, you can't. You've got 300 health, but their Hanzo could literally just insta kill you right here, right?
Uh-huh.
Like it's kind of just lucky you didn't die. A 100 charge Zarya through that thing is 300 damage per second. So like
Okay.
you're chasing this Rhine down, right? But you need to be very careful of where you position yourself when you do this. Right,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
yeah. So you end up pushing into this, right? And this is all good, right? But it's just important for you to realize that that most of the time you really shouldn't, right? Like if you wanted to push this more traditionally, without having killed the Rhine first or whatever, because that's why you were there in the first place. Um, you could just push around this box and get even closer to them without going out into the open first.
Got it. Got it.
Now, they only popped the window just that second, so you weren't really in danger up until then. You were able to kind of close the distance with the shield bash, and that's all nice, right? Just, especially against window, because that is going to kill you on Brig. I'm sure you've had the experience that they put up a window and you just instantly die.
Yep. Yep.
So, with any hero, when they put up a window, that's the time to hide. You literally just hide. They'll be doing minimum twice as much damage as you do. Right?
Yep.
And on Brig, you're doing 0 damage. So, if you're at a range. So you're not doing any damage. So, you're just very vulnerable.
Okay.
The main thing you have to understand is you're just going in with your main tank and enabling them to do even more than they already are able to.
Got it.
Against certain heroes, you're going to be able to do more than others. Let's just assume we're only going to be dealing with like meta heroes, or heroes are going to be seeing more often. So you might see Hanzo, Mei, Reaper. You'll see some Doomfist, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. You'll see some Pharah, right? Against Pharah, you can't really do much.
Yep.
But that's on defense. On attack, you can still just run into their main tank.
Got it.
But against Doomfist, you kind of just want to flail him away, right? Stun him, just make his life annoying, right? Against Ball, same thing.
Yep.
Against Reaper, whenever he teleports behind you guys, just like, Okay, here, you dropped off that high ground. I would recommend keeping it. Or at least keeping this middle high ground. So you either want to stay up here. Not stay up there, but you can always just drop back and jump back up. Or stay up there. This is just a very dangerous place to be, because you're in the same exact place as your Moira, right? Okay, this
is it because you don't want to be in the same place as your other support? Is that why? Or
well, yeah, I mean, it's just like if you get hit by a Pharaoh rocket and then their Genji dashes you, you're gonna die. So, you kind of don't want to both die at the same time. You can play in the same place as your support, but if you were up on the high ground, that's just a place where you're more useful on Baptiste. Like, if you were on Brig, this would be a fine place to be.
Right. Okay. If they have a Hanzo, though, I should probably get off high ground, right? Because then you would open.
Not necessarily. I mean, you just have to be aware of where the Hanzo is, right? And kind of move around, right? Because, if you're not on the high ground, their Hanzo are just going to take the high ground and, kill you, maybe. Like, this Immortality Field, your Hanzo is in a horrible spot, right? Like, you just don't...
Yeah.
This Immortality Field is used on your Rhine. Always.
Okay.
Not always, but, your Rhine needs it to brawl. Whenever you're running in a Reinhardt with a Baptiste, you're using that to get him in there and to keep him in there.
Got it.
Right, so that Immortality Field is probably going to end up killing your Zarya. And again, you're not using your jump at all. You want to be landing up on there, right? Because then you don't lose LOS of your Zarya. Remember, if you can always just jump up there, then jump back. Right now, you're on the front lines, right? That's not where you want to be.
Got it.
You want to be kind of above your team, right? Kind of able to see everything. Like, if I was an aimbotting Widow, I would be able to kill you 100 times by now.
Okay, got
You know,
it.
just keep in mind that right now you're playing like a Moira, and that's not where your strength is, right? Your strength is kind of long range healing, right? Okay, good. Keeping the jump charged up, although no real reason for that. Jump up on that. All right, yeah. See, like, this gives you just such a good vantage point. You missed your heals, but that doesn't really matter. See, and then you just drop down again. Okay, that's a good immortality field placement. Actually, okay, it could have been better in that you could have placed it back there, but based on where your team is, this was a. If you wanted to window right here, this would be the best place to put it.
Okay, I felt they rushed me, or they rushed so quickly after this, and I felt like I should have waited or put it back further. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely could have. It's
Okay.
you're like. You didn't know that Ryan was there. Right? I mean, you can make the argument that you should have known that Ryan was there, but based on what I think you knew,
God,
it would be perfectly fine to do this. Oh
Got
God, you get immortality. Oh, yeah. Try not to like spend. You're kind of not anticipating some things like try to strafe out of the way of Ryan, right, and then put an immortality field down as soon as you can. All that stuff.
Do you know where my bread went?
Your bread?
Yeah, it was like cheese on top.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
It was like slices of
I
bread.
literally have no idea what you're talking about.
Hey, that's the bag.
No, it's not.
This is the bag with my bread.
Oh, that's Kira. She brought it in here.
Kira! This one, I hid this.
Oops. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. If this was you, where would you have gone, or what would you have done?
This is a perfectly fine place to be. It's more like a decision making, maybe reaction time type of thing, right? The Rhine is coming in here, right? You need to be, and you need to immortality field, right? And you're just kind of like walking into him.
Yeah.
Right? You want to be behind your Reinhardt.
Like, right.
So he takes the pin instead of you. You're just kind of walking out in front of him. Look, if your Rhine had gotten pinned, you would have probably won this fight, maybe, right?
Right.
So you don't want to be walking out in front of your Rhine. Like right here, if you had just stayed behind your Reinhardt, that Rhine would have gotten counterpinned.
Got it. Yep.
And you would have lived.
Okay.
So, you generally don't want to be walking in front of your Rhine in any way and, like, minimizing the amount of damage you take. Right? Because you can let your team take a little bit of damage just so you can live.
Yeah, I get pinned by Ryan quite a lot.
It might just be that you're just walking into them. I mean, it's like...
Yeah. Okay.
Here, I wouldn't play up here. I would play this area or this area. Okay. Because immortality, you can't get a good immortality from up here, right? You can put one down, like, it's not actually going to help you, right? Because if you play over here, you can get a fantastic immortality behind this wall or behind this wall, right?
Okay.
But you want to make sure that the immortality is on you as well, so you can just kind of do whatever you want. And make sure all your heroes are good. Oh, by the way, are we matched up 1240?
1240. Yes. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, right there. What even happens to you? I actually don't know.
So I saw the Pharah behind, and I don't know why, but I went up there anyway. I don't know. I wasn't sure what I should have done there.
I mean, playing the low ground against a Pharah, you generally want to be playing this cover right here. Like if she just double directed you, that was a nice play from their Pharah. But yeah, you want to kind of be playing the low ground there. The high ground is not really for you a lot of the time on this map, just because of the fact that it's kind of hard for you to use with your immortality, right? The immortality can get killed if you put it on the high ground, but not on the low ground. So it's just better if you kind of play that low ground, especially against a Pharah, right? That double direct was just pretty clean on you, or not double direct, but she two-tapped you. Now your Moira was on the high ground too, I think. So I don't know why that was the case, but like whatever, right? Yeah.
Okay.
The important thing is just putting your immortality behind corners where they can't kill it.
Got it. So I should play low ground there instead because of the Pharah. Okay.
Yeah.
If there wasn't a fair, should I still be playing low ground there more often?
It honestly depends. If
Okay.
you can't be challenged by anything, then you can play the high ground. Then it just makes your life easier, right? Then you can throw
Okay.
mortalities anywhere, right? You can do all that stuff. But against a Pharah and like maybe a Widow or something like that, then or a Hanzo if they're really good, or like an Ashe, right? You know,
Hmm.
you generally don't want to be playing that super open area where that flank can kill you or something like that.
Okay. Got it.
So
But the first point on high ground, it's harder for them to just kill me right off the bat.
well,
Because
also the
there's not
fact
a
that you can just drop
point.
back very easily, right? Without like,
Right.
and
Okay.
it's harder to flank you because you can kind of see everything, and
Yep.
it just gives you more benefit, right? Like you can see kind of the same stuff from, you can see the entire point from both high ground and low ground, right? Whereas
Hmm.
on this first point, you get a much better vantage point. Okay, so now you guys swap to Roadhog, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why.
So if you want to brawl here, right, and you see they've got a May, put in a mortality field right here. And that
Okay.
way your team is just free to do as much damage as they want.
Oh yeah.
And then
'Cause they
you
can't
can
really.
get a window, right? Like remember, if everybody can take infinite amounts of damage, then you know you're free. That was a nice wall from there. Then everybody's kind of free to just give you your ult for like instantly. Right? You put the corner, you put the immortality all the way back here in this area.
Mhm.
Wow, you're getting that ult super fast. Yeah, I mean this is just the problem with this comp. You guys are running an Ashe without a Mercy and all that stuff. It's just not a good look. But yeah, like and you're also running a Hawk Rhyme. Oh, a Hogwarts now. Okay. But yeah, like right there, when you're running a Baptiste, you're looking to put your mortality in a place where people will want to just stand there and fight, but it's also just protected, right? That immortality field was pretty passive, and it prevented your team from really moving up.
Right. So I want to place it like further up, so where we want to take space essentially.
Yeah.
But it can't get killed or whatever.
Yep, that's a good immortality. Yeah, you got hit with a lot of spam though. Like I don't know. I mean, maybe there's just unavoidable death. Like, oh, you got hit with the fire strike too. Yeah. You peeked out a little bit too much, right? Like you
Okay.
just kind of want to jiggle peek, right? Again, this is just like a hard type of reaction kind of thing. But if you know where you want to place your mortality field, you don't need to be just like standing there and looking at that spot. You can just peek out for a second and then put it down. That's a little bit more. It's kind of hard to get used to doing that. To kind of like move fast and try to minimize the amount of time you're exposed, right? But jiggle peeking is really important, especially if there was like Baptiste and stuff like that, because you generally do not want to be exposed the entire time you're.
So it's like peeking out and going back in.
Yeah, like right here.
Go peeking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like against fire strikes in particular, like you've gotten hit with I think every fire strike.
Yeah, I get hit by so many of them.
Like it's so easy to just avoid them. See, again, this immortality field, like he just used transcendence, so you don't really need to use it, but
right.
It's just very passive, right? Like you could put it around here, right? I know it can get killed or like in here, right? And that allows your team to push up more because it's protected. Because it would end up like over here, and then it's protected by this ledge. Do you see that?
Oh wait, you mean up on top over? Or
No.
over...
Like you just put it in this room, and it's gonna float up to the top. You know what I mean? Like, got it. It's really hard to explain. But if you put the immortality field in a room with a little ledge like that at the top, with a little overhang, like this little overhang, you see how the room is like taller than this overhang itself?
Oh, put it in the room like that.
Yeah, in the room. So you put it in the room, and it'll be pretty much unkillable, right? And anybody who stands in this kind of area is going to be protected.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, so more active.
Yeah, more active, and same thing with your like window, right? If you have a window going into this point, you could put it right here, right? That's fine, but it's not on the point. Or you could put it right here, right? So like right here, or something like that, right? In that kind of area, which is on the point, which just is a little bit more active, right? It lets you see into the room, right? Like just different places where you can put your abilities. It's very important with Baptiste to not hold your team back with your abilities.
Got it.
Right. When a team wants to push in, give them the resources they need to push in.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to use it very passively. I need to put it more further up.
Yeah. Your placement's pretty good, though. You put it behind corners a lot, which is nice. See, like right there, your immortality field, it's really far back. Like, no one's going to use this to actually push up. I know you used it to Saber, but you could have just, like, put it further up, right? And no one's really going to fight here, but, the only reason they actually get any value out of this blizzard is because of the fact that you put it down so far back, right? It's such an easy to
So I should have put it further up. Where would I be putting it without it like dying or getting
there? Like so it's actually actively on the corner, right? Instead of back here, you put it here. It should be like here, so that your Orisa can push up without being stuck all the way back here to actually use it. Remember, people want to fight in it, so yeah.
Okay. So wait. Okay, got it. Yeah. All right.
Like
Makes sense. Yeah, I put it way further back than I should have.
Yeah. Like it saved her, right? Although you can make the argument that you probably could have just not used it at all. But like, you want to put it somewhere where people are gonna want to fight.
Yep.
Right, instead of way back. Your job isn't to save people with it; it's to enable them to actually kill things with it. Right.
Got it. Got it.
Especially if you have a second killer who's just capable of healing. Like, it's not really your job to keep your team alive with it. It's your job to let them push in and then basically make them go gung-ho. Right?
Got it. Should I be DPSing more than I am? I feel like I'm not.
Yeah, you're not really doing any damage at all. But that's partly because you're never on the high ground. Like, you could take some off angles, whatever. If you wanted to play DPS Baptiste, I don't know how much you would trust or aim for that, but that really is up to you. I honestly don't know really how much you'd want to be DPSing on Baptiste here. Because it seems like you're out healing your other support by a significant amount. So, okay. Let's just say hypothetically you want to use your abilities here. Where would you want to... Here, let's just see if you can get a better angle. Okay. Yeah, you also don't really want to get caught in these kinds of things. But say you wanted to use your abilities here. Where would you put them? Right? Like, you just draw out a line where you'd kind of want to put them.
Would I want to put the immortality behind the pillar up there? That red pillar?
Okay. So you can draw on the screen, by the way. See this pillar?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one.
Okay. And where'd you want to put a window?
In front of the pillar, sort of? Like, right in the middle by it?
Okay. So you'd want to put it right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I can draw. I keep forgetting I can draw.
Yeah. So, right there. Right. Now, why... So you want to put it right next to this box, right? This is your window.
Yeah.
But you won't get any value if you put it in front of that box. So what needs to happen before you really put it in front of that box? Not something that you would do, but just something your Orisa would do for you. Like
would you put a shield down over there?
Yes, you would need to put a shield. Okay. So your team would actually need to be there, right? Like you don't want to put your more. The key is to never put your window behind where your team is. Ever. Just like behind your Orisa is, never put it there. Right?
Okay.
And if you sense that she's moving, never put it down where she is at that moment. Right? Like,
okay.
Put it down when she sets up. When your Orisa sets up, that's when you want to put it down. Because then your Orisa's not going to move for another 9 seconds. So you are able to get value out of your entire window during that time. Right? I don't know how long it lasts, 10 seconds or something like that. So, your Orisa's only going to move after the window's already over. You don't want to put your window down when your Orisa's like, about to start moving, because then she's like, let's reset up in this exact same spot, and their team's just going to duck out of the way, right? You want to actively pressure them with your window and your mortality field. So you would need your Orisa to actually push up.
So either, if I'm going to put it down at this exact moment, I would put it right here in front of her, and then have the immortality over here?
Yes.
Is that what I would do? Okay.
Yep. Because right here, you can tell that she's just set up, and they're like, you can see the rank that their Rhine's right here. Their Rhine's going to get shredded immediately. This is why you never play Rhine in this area. Because if I put down a window here, what happens to their Rhine? He's just going to back up with his shield up. And, what is it? Like, Roadhog does 600 damage a shot, I think, with his window. And Rhine's got, like, 1,600 on his shield. Like, I don't think that shield's going to last for very long. So, yeah, especially since I think your Hog's ulting right here. Oh, no, he's not. Never mind, I lied. Ooh. So, you put the immortality field down directly in front of them. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, that's kind of why you don't want to be, like, right next to your team.
Yeah.
If you know they have
Always want to be spaced out.
Yeah, just a little
team.
bit.
Yeah.
If you're right on top of everybody else, you get hit with all the same damage as everybody else. That's not really what you want to have happen. Ooh, he almost just killed you with that.
Is it worth, like, if they grab and I'm not stuck in it, is it worth putting immortality and then using my ult to try to save them? With heals?
Oh, that's a nice immortality. I mean, okay, that's a bad immortality. Oh wait, it's last fight. It's last fight. That was a good immortality. It was a bad window, but it's last fight, so it's not that matters. Using your window to try to save them, sure, but it might also just be worth it to put the window in front of your team in the grab, right? If you get a good immortality down, you don't really need that healing, right? You should be able to kind of heal them yourself, right? Especially if you have a Moira on your team too.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's a good VOD. If I were to tell you to work on anything, for Baptiste, I would say stay a little bit further back from your team, right?
Okay.
And stay behind your main tank, right? Like, don't stay off to the side of them, just kind of stay behind them, right? Not directly behind them, just a distance behind them. And, make sure you're using your mortality and your window to help your team push. Same thing for Brig, right? Like, you're helping your main tank push. It's not about just healing them, right? You're not going to get by, and you're not going to really win games if you're just keeping them alive. Like, you don't win games by just staying alive the entire time. You need to actually push them, So, make your team do more damage. Make your main tank, do more work, right?
Okay.
And in the process, you're going to find yourself doing more damage. Probably. On Brig, anyway. On Baptiste, doing damage with Baptiste is a lot about just, first off, aiming. And, also just knowing when to shoot, right? When you start pushing people as Baptiste and, with the rest of your team, you're going to have the chance to do damage. Right now, you're not really in that... You never really get to that part where you actually push them, right? So you get good immortalities off. I like your immortality placement, all that stuff. But it's only good for keeping people alive, right? You want to take it to the kind of next part where you're actually pushing people with them and making it hard for them, for their team, to actually kill your main tank.
Got it.
So,
using it more proactively rather than reactively. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you're not really using your mortality people to keep people alive. You're using your mortality people to keep them in a fight. You're keeping them in the fight and keeping them brawling. That's why Baptiste is run with Orion so often these days, right? Ryan, Orisa, Baptiste. And so you just throw an immortality field down for your Ryan, and he's just swinging, right? You put a window down, he fire strikes, 2 people dead instantly, right? Say he hits a good one, right? So your job isn't to keep them alive. Your job is to keep them in the fight. So,
got it.
Yeah, and with Brig, I would say just staying with your Ryan. Or just staying with your main tank, right? And choosing a hero on their team that you are going to completely shut down. Target focus, right? You're just going to make sure that person cannot do anything to your team. You're not going to kill them, right? Don't focus on killing them. Just focus on every time they come in, you make them useless. Stun them.
Got it.
Destroy them, right? Anybody who can do something to your main tank or maybe to your backline, right? Just stun them, right? Mei, boom. Bye-bye, right? Force out a nice play. Don't ever extend past your Ryan, right? You don't want to be in front of your Ryan ever, really. But play with him, right? Stun the people he's attacking, all that stuff. If they have a Genji or something, they might have a Genji sometimes. Stun him. If they have a Moira that's actively pushing your team for whatever reason, because I see that a lot in Diamond DPS Moiras. Then, stun her too, right? Just, pick people that are coming to you, right? It's not your job to, hunt people down. Let them come to you, and then you stun them and punish them for bad positioning.
So if they have a Doomfist, for example, and they keep diving my Ana or whatever, other support, then I should probably play by her more, right? To make sure she doesn't die. Or should I still be playing up with my tank?
I mean, you would also... Doom can come after your backline. At a certain point, you can't save people, right? Doom is going to kill your Zen. There's nothing you can do to help it. At that point, you tell your Zen to swap, or you just go Moira and try to solo heal it. Because your Zen's going to die to a Doom, right? You're just hoping that he's going to live. You, as a Brig, are not going to be able to shut down a Doom Fist. It's just not going to happen.
Okay.
But what you can do is just, if he's coming in after your main tank, just stun him. Right? If he's coming in after your backline, just look at where he's coming in from and try to flail him off to the side, right? Just like piss him off a little bit, right? Ruin his combos. If you're just playing right next to your Ana the entire time, you're solo healing. Like, you might be taking care of the Doomfist, but your Ana's the only one doing anything, right? So your Ana has to kind of play closer to you, and you also just need to be keeping an eye out for their Doomfist. If Doom is the person you're trying to single out and mark, like, focus them, then whenever their Doom comes in, just, like, think, okay, he's coming in from the right, so I'm just going to kind of, like, play here, and I can kind of cut off that area, right? That way, I can pay attention to him, like, listen for him coming in, and then just flail him, right? Maybe stun him.
Okay.
If he comes in after your main tank, like, just look for him. Look at where he is, and look at where he's trying to come in from. He's got a very distinct noise, and he's gonna generally come in from the same spots on the same maps. So you can't just, like, play next to your Ana and be like, okay, I'm just gonna, like, be like protector the entire time. But what you can do is, make his life a little bit more difficult. You have to give your... Thing is, Ana can't sleep him. Well, she can't sleep him, but it's really hard for Ana to sleep him when he's moving around and doing all these combos and stuff like that, right? So all you need to do is just make him be in the wrong spot, and then your Ana can sleep him. Your Ana can take care of herself, right? If you've got a Zen, things are a little bit more complicated, but hopefully he can kill him. He can kill him. Stuff like that, right? So you're not going to be able to kill him. Again, you're not going to be able to kill any of these people you're marking, but you're just going to be able to make them very easy to kill. Right? Your Ana's going to be able to sleep a Doom that's stunned, hopefully. So, yeah, hopefully. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. But
all right. Cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate this. It was really helpful.
No problem. This is a good VOD. It's a nice VOD.
Oh,
it's nice and long. So, yeah.
I tried to choose one that was like, I probably could have swung in the fight somehow and just screwed up. So,
yeah.
All right.
If you want to do another one, just get another VOD. Yeah, I don't know. Over winter break, I'll have a little bit more time, and so I'll be able to.
Okay. Yeah, I am. I'm working on trying to learn Zen more because is he gonna be meta? I don't know. I'm not. I'm not sure. But
no one knows what is gonna be meta. People are just kind of going off of what's been good and what's been good in the past. I would say if you want to climb, focus on Baptiste because that man is cracked out of his mind. So and you seem to have some idea of already how to play him. So, yeah. I mean, learning Zen's always a good idea. So, go for it if you want to. So, yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Well, appreciate it. Yeah, I'll let you know if I have another one.
All right.
Down the pipeline.
I'll try to upload the VOD. I'll give it to you when I can. When it's uploaded. So...